Hey, Julie, first one here. All right, I'm going to see if I can pull this one up on YouTube. And let's see here. There is our Batchn making after party, and I will go in and correct that. That's hilarious. That's awesome. All right. Julie, are you making? I know it's early in the morning. I know it's very early, but are you making little mini books with us? Got to get your cup of tea down first, I'm sure. 4 o'clock is quite early. Need to get the fan going here. A bit of fresh air. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty strong fan there. So who is set up for streaming that wants to come in live? Let me go ahead and grab this link here. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Just you and me, Julie. It's just you and me. We're going to batch make some of these things. Yeah, I want to bind some in, like regular book binding. I think that would be fun. I really kind of like the idea of one of these. Maybe I'll put a teeny tiny charm on, because I do have some little charms, and let it just hang only to the bottom of the book there. Hey, Lamont. Good to see you. Where DM is having some big allergy issues. She was hoping she'd be able to be in chat, but she's not feeling great with allergy issues. Okay, so if this goes around and around, that could have a charm and go around and around, and then be just come right down in here. There we go. Yeah, I've got some teeny tiny charms I think I could put on that, and that would be awesome. It sure is easier with these mini books, though, to have some kind of clamp or something to hold them while you're trying to do something, because they're teeny tiny and they go flying all over the place. Hi, Melanie. Made it. I did the scenic route, and it wasn't even pretty scenery. That's awesome. And we'll all go check out the scenery afterwards and watch, we all go down that rabbit hole. Watching more videos, getting more ideas, more inspiration. And that's the whole thing about people having, different arts and different crafts that are their thing, is you see something that somebody does in, quilting, and it gives you an idea for card making or for junk journaling or mixed media. Get more mixed media ideas looking at other people's art in all different kinds of things. So, all right. So let's see. We can whip out some of these. That one. Let's see. I'm going to make it about that long. That leaves enough room, but doesn't need to be hanging all over the place. I turned my fan up high and I can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Can you hear my fan in the background? Is that distracting or disturbing? Okay. That one, I feel like it needs some kind of closure, because this mulberry paper doesn't like to hold creases so much. The one we did today. Can't hear the fan? Okay, good. I would turn it down a bit if you could. Okay. Oh, there they are. Where'd the others go? All right. So yeah, I just took a regular old school hole punch and punched that tiny little thumb notch. And that tells me which side is up because the pocket's up on top. I should make a tiny tag that goes inside of it, then I would know. That'll remind me. That goes in that direction. Okay. And then this one, I like the little eyelet, but so many different closures that you could do. This one's all ready to go, so it needs a cover. Debating how I want to do it. The other thing that you can do is fold it accordion, but every 2 instead of every 1. And let that be the center. So if I bound that in, and then I would just cut, if you wanted to, you don't have to. You still have both sides. You just would have 2 more sides if you cut it. Good cut. This could actually be a flip out, so that doesn't have to be cut. All right, Glynis. And another. I really like the ends of this paper, and I don't want to cut those little pieces off. That's some of the best design. This is a great way to use up some gel prints or sprayed paper, things like that. Okay. All right, so if I leave that, and then I take this, now we need a cover. Might work. No, that's not. That doesn't work. That's already cut for insides, too small. Oh, I already got a quarter one there. I'm going to look at the ones that have already been cut. Jelly prints were my thought as well. Yes, yeah, gel prints. Oh my goodness. Got stacks and stacks and stacks of them. And we've used them in so many different ways. But yeah, one more excuse to gel print, right, Melanie? Are you big gel printer? Because that's something I love doing. It's absolutely one of my favorite things. Okay, I really like all this stuff on this paper, and there's not as much up here. So I am going to, instead of folding them to the middle and leaving the gap there, I'm going to fold this side smaller because I want more of that to show. And this is, well, shows exactly why I said don't worry about if they're exactly, folded exactly in the center. It doesn't even matter. I'm going to leave a gap so I know that it's big enough. And I have folded them purposefully not equal because I want more of this, that it looks like eco dyeing. It's printed on the paper, but it looks like eco dyeing. Here's the original sheet of paper. It's just a sheet of stationery, but it looks like something that we might have eco dyed to use as stationery. So that's cool. Oh, love gel printing. Use your brayer roll off to make and draw collage fodder. Oh, Melanie, I love that. You are singing my song. We've done Monday jump starts on all of those. All right, now it's blowing my papers around. We've done lots of Monday jump starts and other lives on different techniques on the gel plate. Melanie, do you have a camera set up to be able to go live? Like to go live with me to gel print someday? And if you're not sure, you and I can talk sidebar. Super easy to get you set up. That would be so fun. Have you join me and some of admin and do some gel printing. Okay, I'm gonna Well, it doesn't matter. It's going to be in the center. That would make a good front right there. See that nice little leaf? This is your first Monday. I thought so, but you fit right in. You fit right in, and you're just singing my song with all these things that you love to do. I could sit down and gel print all day long. I just love it. It's so much fun. And there's so many techniques to do on the gel plate that I sit down, I gather everything together, and thinking I'm going to do all of them today. And of course, you never get around to all of them because you can't. You start doing one and it's cool and it kind of leads you to another one. I am going to just connect a couple of those, hold that in place. I think I would like that to be the front, so I get some of that eco on the front. The back is a little more plain. Great. So make sure that when that bends, it gets down in. All right. It keeps pulling. I'm not sure why it's pulling. And it's in the right place. I'm not going to bend it. Just going to leave it flat. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I have this hubster. I drive the hubster crazy because I make him look at everywhere like I just made the greatest work, right? And you did. And you did, Melanie. I totally get that. Camera on your phone. Yep, we could get you set up really easily. That would be so much fun. I love seeing how other people gel print as well because, we all will do something a little bit different and to come away with something a little different. And it's just fun. Let's see. Something sharp. There's something sharp. And something to poke into. We can use that. All right, so I'm just going to do a basic 3-hole pamphlet stitch, super easy, starting with hole in the center. Whoop, big hole. Yeah, I didn't need that big of a hole, but that's okay. And then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to come down here. And let's see. I want to do it with twine or just with some of this. This actually would be probably quite nice. Just use that. Wonder if it'll go through that needle. Oh, experimenting is the best. I mean, that is literally the best when you feel like you don't know how to do everything and you're just experimenting, because you come up with some of my favorite prints were from experimenting, and then I used them, and now I can imagine, I can picture in my head because I loved a couple of them, but I don't know what I did to get them because I was just experimenting and kind of, figuring out how it all works. I wish I'd kept them or scanned them in or written down what I did to get them. I think this needle, I know this needle is too small. Does not have an eye big enough. Might be kind of a thick thread, but okay. Get my sewing machine pedal out of the way. My chair just grabbed my needle book. Little needle book. I want as small as possible with the biggest eye. That one might work. These are too small. These are too big. Okay. Let's try this one. Right, Julie? That's a really great point. if you think of everything as experimenting, right now I'm just experimenting with some pieces of paper to see what kind of little book things I can make happen. Experimenting, then there's no expectation. Whatever you have to do to get rid of the expectation. This is a pretty thick piece of string. I think I might need to go to something thinner. It's got like 3 ply and they are splitting. Yeah, that's not going to go through there. That's okay. Let's go to, ooh, we got a green and white one. Let's do the green and white one. That would be pretty. Hi, Leah. Aw, I appreciate that, Leah. It's been a while since I was able to just sit down and make some videos other than the lives. Part of the reason I really feel like the lives need to be ended at an hour so that they are watchable. There's a lot of people who are working or have different schedules. Can't be at the live, but like to check out the technique and don't want to make it difficult for everybody. Okay, this one might be just as thick, but we're going to try. I don't feel like I've become perfect or perfectly good at really any of this, which is why I love the freedom to experiment. I'm trying to make that flat. And as long as you allow yourself the freedom to experiment, then it's okay. Because like Julie said, you remove expectations. Oh my goodness. This is too thick too. I thought this one would be fine. But again, it's got, what, three strands twisted together. I don't want to go with any bigger of an eye needle because it'll make too big of a hole in the book. The hardest part of the book, getting the the thread you want through the eye of the needle. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's not working. So let's go to this one, which is not as thick. Boom, first try. Okay, another thing you'll learn is Marianne can be a little bit stubborn. I really wanted to make that one work, so I will try and try and try and try until I know for sure that it's not worth continuing to try. As far as experimenting, every time I pull out the gel plates, paints, whatever it is, every single time I go at it with the idea of, let's go experiment on the gel plate and see what we can get this time. That's it. Perfectly imperfect. And so many of us have had that perfectionism in life, and doing things like gel printing and junk journals, things like that are perfectly imperfect or are perfect because they're imperfect, that has really helped me to be able to let go of a lot of that perfectionism, which helps in all areas of life. We're all about psychology and psyching ourselves out to become better people. I must have a needle threader somewhere, Glennis. I probably need to get it and put it in the needle book, don't I? I've got to have one. I'm sure I have one somewhere. Probably with the sewing stuff, not the needle book, but I love this needle book and keeping it right close to the desk because it's not really while I'm sewing that I always need it. It's when doing stuff like this, bookbinding, or doing some design or some experiment that we're doing. And Melanie, Monday Jumpstart, we're big on experimenting. I get some new products or something. I don't usually try them out ahead of time. I don't usually figure it out. And that's on purpose, because I like to experiment with you. And so you can see along with me exactly what it does, what it doesn't do, how it worked, didn't work, what we tried, the whole experiment. One of the things that I find frustrating about some YouTube videos with some creators is that they remake the video 10, 20 times until it's perfect, or they edit it and edit out all the mistakes or all the, what they call failures or things that didn't work exactly right. I don't think that that's a reflection on the person, that it didn't turn out right. If I get a new product, you don't know what it's going to do, how it's going to act. That's the whole fun of experimenting. But what I hear so much is people giving up before they've even tried something because they watched so-and-so's video and they're like, it didn't work that way for me. I can't make it work. I can't do it right. And I can't, they think they make it look like things are working perfectly and turning out like that. They're on the first time they try. And I find that very frustrating because it's kind of deceiving. And I understand from the creator's perspective, wanting to put out a video that shows excellence and how to do this from start to finish and how it works and looks and all of that. But I think that as a viewer, we really have to look at intent. If intent is to help and share and teach and learn, then really those mistakes or fumbles or, gee, that didn't work, let's try to figure out what we can do now. Those things I think are critical for us to see, because that's part of that learning process. And if I'm learning it brand new because I just opened the package, I'm learning it with you. And so I just think it's important to see all that stuff so that you don't feel like nobody watching it feels like a failure or that they're not good enough to do it. There's so many people that don't even try things because they think they're not good enough to try them. So I don't like that. And that's why I don't make videos. My daughter wanted me to do videos as the old lady. I'm starting a new hobby and I'm not good enough after all the videos I've watched. See, Melanie, you're comparing what you think you're able to do to videos that you see put out that show, quote, perfection. Some people have been doing things a very long time and they're very good at it. And we certainly can't compare ourselves to that. And the other thing is, like I said, I know a lot of these creators and I know how many times they record. They record over and over and over until they get it, what they think is perfect. They also splice parts of videos together. And some of them often spend 5 to 6 hours editing a video to only show, what is perfect. And I hate that word. I just hate that word, perfect. So that being said, I don't edit videos. And if that frustrates some people because I don't. And I'm thinking that I'm just going to fold this in and glue it down. I'm not going to tuck the end paper in because because I bound it in there, but I'm going to glue this down and then maybe leave the top open that something could be stuck in there because it's a double, although it could get hooked up on that. But not if I glued that down, it probably wouldn't get hooked up on that. The variations. Lucy, watched a video once where the first pass at doing something was wrong and the second time was right. But for me, the way she did it the first time worked for me. Yeah. But for her, she thought it was wrong. Leah, not true, Marianne. What, Leah? Back, not sure what I said that you commented on. Please let me know. Oh, let me go back here a little farther. If she had removed that part, I would not have succeeded at the project. I totally agree, Lucy. Melanie, a lot of us are in the same spot. I've been, a few years now, but, sure, I'm not that much farther ahead of you. And it all depends on what we've been working on or spending our time on, all those things. I will say your invitation to jelly printing is really tempting. Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes we just do, often not Monday Jumpstart, we just do Laugh and Crafts. And that's where I'll invite people to come on live and we just hang out. So people all of our friends can hang out in the chat and we can chat and talk. They can be doing it at the same time if they want. And we just laugh and craft. And that is a lot of times where we do the jelly printing. And we will experiment and try new things and just make a huge mess. So Laugh and Crafts are great for that. Yep, I agree with you, Julie and Lucy. I wouldn't have bothered to try again because, well, I don't know. I might have. It depended on how much I liked the project and how much I wanted to make it work. But yeah, what the person thought was a failure because it wasn't what they had in mind, ended up being something that we really like. Oh, that she's not good enough. Yeah, not true. Not true at all. Here's the thing. Something that I have recently realized that I've learned along the way the last couple of years. I don't have any art training. I don't have any, formal anything training. And that's why I am comfortable just being with you because we're just all learning together. Many of you have much more training and are much more advanced than me. And I love that because I have learned so much from you. And the community that we're in is so willing to help one another that's just amazing. And I think that's what it should be. But what I've learned is that you don't have to have art talent, however you define that. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have art talent or art training. And I say artist in the formal sense of the word, to do art and to be an artist and to enjoy it and to actually make cool things that look awesome. You don't have to be trained to be an artist. All you have to do is keep doing it. Keep at it. The more you do something, the better you become. And that's a loose term, the better you become. But what that really means to me is when I make something that I like, that I'm happy with, that I'm satisfied with, then that's good. That's complete. It doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks because everybody has their own taste. When you make something that you like and you feel satisfied with, there is your artistic expression. And sometimes when you have training, it's in a specific instructor's way. People get hung up on that and doing things that way. Sometimes they have a hard time letting their own artistic expression go because their brain wants to follow the training that they've gotten. So all you have to do is have the desire to stick with it and keep doing things over and over until it gets to where you like it. You like what you're doing, you're happy, you're having fun, and you're pleased with your outcome. That's an artist. You don't have to have any formal training. Yes. Happy Paper People is full of them, Melanie. That it's just full of, and that's why we keep it a private group. If you haven't joined, please go join the Facebook group, Happy Paper People, same name. We keep it a private group so that it is a safe place for everyone to post their questions, their pictures. They're along the way. I'm kind of stuck here, not sure what to do. Any ideas, any suggestions? This is a group where you will get Everything you ask for, you'll get help, you'll get suggestions if you want it. What you will never get is a derogatory comment or something negative. There is such appreciation for everybody's different styles. And we've talked about this. It's been a while, but so I'll say this again because we had several new people today. You don't have to you don't have to love the same style that someone else loves to appreciate the art of it and to appreciate the artistry, right? Does that make sense? I can go to an art gallery or to some event and I can see art that somebody has made, and it is not something that I would buy and put on the wall of my home just because it's not my style. Doesn't, it's not my aesthetic for decorating or whatever it is. And at the same time, I can look at it and say, wow, look at the artistry. I can see the time that it took. Look at these incredible brush strokes that they did on here. Or look how they thought to use rope or twine or whatever to do this. Or look what they did with all this rusty stuff. I love the rusty stuff, by the way. But the piece as a whole might not be something that I would buy for my home. And yet I can still appreciate it as art and understand. What I find frustrating is when somebody looks at something and goes, ugh, can't stand that stuff. Not my cup. It doesn't have to be your cup of tea. But if you're looking at it from the perspective of you're an artist, I'm an artist, everybody here's an artist, and we do things differently. We can all take on the same project, just like these little books. That's why I love when you post them in the group after, you've made some, because we'll all have different things, different takes on them, different outcomes. Maybe this not as much as some of the other things because it's, pretty basic paper. But yeah, I love expanding my thoughts and being able to look at somebody else's art and say, wow, not my style, but I'm incredibly impressed with how they did this or managed to get that look, or look at that technique. I never even would have thought of doing that. You can appreciate the art, you can appreciate the artist, and at the same time, it not be your style. So there isn't I don't think that there should be a love this, hate that, but yet an appreciation for everything and something to learn from everyone. Even if their style is not your style, there's something to learn from them. Yes, appreciating the creativity it took to come up with the way to express themselves. Yes, that's exactly it. And I can learn things from them, even if their style isn't my thing. I can learn from their creativity. And, when you see somebody else's creativity, there's something about it that when you really view it with appreciation, that helps you release a little bit more of your creativity. So yeah, I'll get off my soapbox on that. But that's what Happy Paper People is all about, Melanie, is appreciating one another, helping one another. We believe in collaboration and community, not competition. And so everything is about building and uplifting and supporting. It's going to need some kind of closure. Not sure what I want to do with that yet, but there's just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch binding in that one. So now you've got me thinking about gel printing again, and I really want to dig into that because that's one of my favorite things, and I find it very relaxing too. So, but I got this big mess of paper here, and that's why we're doing the after party, because I get this big mess of paper and I need to do something with it so it doesn't just sit around. So I'll go ahead and use up what I got here. They put the heart into it, and then when some criticizes it, crushes it. Yeah, you won't find that in Happy Paper People. I am proud to say, and it has nothing to do with me, I'm proud to say of the people in Happy Paper People. This is the most amazing group of people you'll ever meet. I'm so pleased to say that in what are we going on, Julie? 6 years? I have never once had to delete a comment that somebody posted or commented on somebody else's post that was negative, not supportive, hurtful, anything in any way. I've never once had to delete a comment in that regard. And I do. Oh, we're all in lots of Facebook groups. I'm not active in a lot of Facebook groups, but I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and went to a lot more, before we started Happy Paper People. But I remember, especially being brand new, it was just a few years ago, and I didn't know anything about junk journaling. And I remember being in a group and asking somebody, they're talking about signatures and binding them and blah, blah, blah. And I remember asking, what is a signature, please? Because I didn't know. I didn't know what they were talking about, and I wanted to understand all about it because this just looked and sounded like fun. And somebody very kindly just told me what a signature was. Oh, okay, makes perfect sense. Now I can follow the conversation. That's great. Not too long ago, a question like that was posted in a group, and somebody commented on it and said, if you don't know what that is, then you shouldn't even be in this group. And my heart was broken. I thought, the person who commented on that, you started at some point, just like the person who just asked the question. And you had to learn from somewhere, from somebody. And if you never asked anybody questions, wouldn't it have been a whole lot easier if you'd felt that you could ask people questions and get help along the way instead of trying to figure it out and the frustrations of, doing that? And that's exactly my thought, Melanie. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. And I left the group. Now, that's kind of tough because the entire group isn't like that, but that person is. But if that had been posted in Happy Paper People, I would have deleted it and I would have spoken to the person kindly, because that's not who we are. That's not what we're about. And we want to help and uplift and build and support. And that's just, people are way more important than anything we could be making. I agree, Leah. It would have crushed me too. I would have thought, well, how do I even know what groups to join? If I'm brand new, how do I even know? Because I'm just trying to learn. And just, and then people will get into groups and not even say anything or participate for a year or 2 years because of experiences like that and being afraid of what might be, said to them. So I don't want anybody to be afraid. Come in from the beginning and say, I don't know anything about any of this, but it looks so much fun. I want to learn. And Margie, so sorry. And this is the group that will grab you, sweep you up and say, awesome, happy to help you, I was wondering, Margie, got a little bit worried there. Thought maybe your lunch was delivered, but it's a little bit early for that still. Good dinner. Okay, I got 2 here. And it might be, it's inside. That's not cut for an outside. This would work. Margie would have had a lot to say about all that stuff along the way, but she wasn't here. I was just about to send out search party because, a little worried about you. Oh, you're not getting anything to deliver today? You're going to eat something out of the cupboard or the fridge, huh? What we have. Yeah, Julie, I agree. There's enough garbage in this world that if the place that you go for creativity and for an outlet and for fun is negative or cause any stress, there's no need. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of Facebook groups. There's no need to stick around one that causes stress and makes somebody not feel very good. Too busy. How many of these books have you made, Margie? Let's see. I think I am going to, I'm just going to do this. And the other side. Yeah, I think I'm going to like having a little stash of these little books that I could grab to slip inside of another journal. How fun would that be? A baby journal in a journal. A teeny tiny journal in a tiny journal. Well, I went to stream merits. I figured it would be there. Can't do stream merits, so I just, the link I put in admin. That was so you could come on live. Oh, Julie, that sounds really good. I think I'm going to staple this one in. Should I do it as one or two? Well, staple them in as two separate signatures. They're still pretty small. Staple that in as one. No, I'm going to leave it as two. All right. So where's our center point? There's our center point. Yeah, staple is easy. Really easy. Hold and push. Even easier than twine. Okay, that's not going to work till I fold the ends in. Darn it. All right, fine. Let's see, where was my point? There was my point. Okay. Yeah, these are so perfectly imperfect. It's just awesome. They're so easy. You can sit down with paper somewhere, not even have a stapler or twine or anything. Just sit down with paper somewhere while you're bored and make these little books. A sideways stapler. You have a sideways stapler? Hmm? Oh, I don't have a sideways stapler. I didn't even know there was a sideways stapler. Melanie, I love it. Should I dress casual or formal for dinner? Melanie, if you're headed over there, I want to go with you. Australia for dinner. That sounds awesome, right? Get to see Julie. Get to have some of her amazing food. Maybe see a kangaroo. I don't know. I'm going to have to check out a sideways stapler that I've never heard of. Margie? Can't see, so just hoping that that's about, no matter which way I turn it, I get into a shadow. So, and good enough. The arm swings out to staple in different configurations. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Oh, Melanie, you're sweet. Thank you. I will be waiting. All right, this one's going to go beside it. Now I do want to line them up top to bottom because they're going to be stapled in. I don't have the ability to adjust them later. That's pretty close. Cool. Yeah, Margie, we're definitely going to have to check that out because I've never heard of that. But it sounds amazingly handy. Okay. This one can be folded a little farther in. That one probably can be folded a little farther out. Cargo jet, hope you're okay with chickens and pigs. Oh, Melanie, fit right in. Yes, I love baby pigs. They are the cutest ever. And until recently, I had pigs. I had chickens. I have a chicken condo in my backyard, and we had chickens. So yes, I am totally all about that. Right now, I'm really wishing we still had the chickens for the eggs. Just look them up. They're pretty cool, and they're not expensive either. Oh, cool. Lucy, do you know them by a different name other than sideways staplers? 360 rotator stapler. Okay. I think I'm going to cut this off a little bit shorter. The longer this is, the farther it has to be stuck down on that page, and the more difficult it is to get down there, especially if you're using cardstock. I really prefer paper. I didn't already say that. Pretty sure I did. Baby pigs, yeah. But that's what's going to be there. Yeah. Our baby pigs are so adorable. They are cuteness. And chickens, I'm okay with chickens. I know how to handle them. Besides, we can bring fresh eggs to Julie as our hostess offering. As Glenn has said, sling on sleeper. Sling on sleeper. Is that what they call the stapler? Sling on stapler? Oh, a swing stapler. Okay, so a swing arm stapler. I think I got you, Lucy. This one off a little bit. Now I got these little ones, and I got to figure out something to do with those, right? Swing arm stapler. There you go. I will look that up. That sounds brilliant to me. Did they make them with different size staples, like the little tiny staples to use in these, or just standard size? I could just do one standard size in the center. Oh, look how cute. I thought it was bark. I thought it was like little birch trees, but I see that it's like ribbon because I can see it torn and a little bit knotted. That's cool. Okay, let's see. What else have we got sitting here that I need to use up? I'm actually going to throw these away. Margie, I'm throwing away. I'm not keeping every little itty bitty piece of paper anymore. Next week is going to be using scraps of fabric and lace. And the week after is going to be using scraps of paper, even small scraps. Just so you have some heads up there. I'll get those events created sooner because I've already got samples made for those. I can take a picture, put it in. Let's see what else is. That would make a cool cover. That would make a cool cover. That'd be a teeny tiny cover. That's an even smaller book. Oh, you must bring flowers or wine, maybe a pie. That's right. Fresh eggs and animals or nothing. Yes. And Julie will kindly say, oh, you can keep your chickens. That's okay. But I would love the eggs. Right, Julie? Lots of little strips like this makes me think about weaving them. And it actually makes me think about pulling out something and collaging, starting to collage. I love these pieces of paper. And I think those are going to go with my strips. These are perfect sizes for covers. So, yeah, Julie's all about that. Bring the eggs, keep your chickens. Just come back when you have more eggs, right? Now, here's one that got one column torn off and not the second. Just as well finish that. I think I saw Glennis posted, or didn't post, put in chat a little while ago. Farther up, we were talking about something else. We were talking about gel printing. And Glennis said, hey, we could do an all-day gel print party for HPP birthday. Well, thanks, Glennis, for staying on top of that, because I haven't been feeling so well. That would be awesome, Melanie, and definitely go get into the Happy Paper People Facebook group if you haven't already. I haven't been in the week, but yeah, gel print party. Happy Paper People birthday is April 18th, and we celebrate it usually with the month of April. Yep, herd party, can't leave now. Thanks, Margie. I think that is an amazing idea. Let's have a long gel print party, and people, those who can come on live, which would be awesome, because we all do things differently. That way people can see. Even if we do the same thing, we're going to end up with different polls. Okay, awesome, Melanie. Glad to see that. And even if people can't stay the entire time, you could come on live for a couple of hours, go do what you have to do, come back. That would be very cool. So I think that's a fantastic idea. Let me look at the calendar. I don't know when the 18th is, but it doesn't have to be on the day, because it's birthday month. And in my house, you get the whole month for your birthday. It's where are we? We're in April. So it's Happy Paper People's birthday month. May is Doug's birthday month, and June is mine. So you get the whole month. That means you get to decide where we're going to dinner or anything special, movies, whatever it is. So we can have 10 people total. Yep, including me. So 9 additional people. We can have a big fun party on live and still have everybody else in the audience. And if we have more people than 10 that are available to come on live, we can rotate and do shifts of time. So, and of course, we'll have to have some prizes, some birthday prizes. Only 12 people get to have a birthday month, right? Oh, the 18th is Good Friday. Oh, well, I don't know the implications of that for all religions. So if that means that's a good thing or would not be a good thing for some, but I think Good Friday means it's a good day. So we'll have to look closer at that. And Melanie, yeah, I'll connect with you, Melanie, and we can sometime, just you and I, get together and see about getting you set up to be able to come on live. And it would be a lot of fun to gel print together. So that party would be a perfect time. Come in and hang out with some Happy Paper People, and bring some of your new gel print ideas that maybe we haven't tried and share. It means a lot of people are off. Oh, that's true. It's a holiday. It's a holiday. Awesome. Okay. All right. I know you got to run. Thanks, Melanie, for hanging out with us today. It's been loads of fun. Good Friday is church and family day for us. Okay. A lot of people are going to be off work. I hadn't thought about that. That is very true. Since this is my work, you know, I'm never off. So I don't ever even think about those days off anymore. That might be awesome fun. A lot more off than you think. Bye, Melanie. Oh, Margie, we all have to be a little off to belong here, right? That's what makes us feel right at home. I think that might work. I'm going to check that out when we get done here. I think I'm going to make this last little book. It needed some more pages, so I'm going to give it some 3 signatures. Yeah, it might be more meaning that more admin can be there. Oh, come on. Who are we kidding? Which admin are out there trying to get off of work? Harry can't get off work right now. Not for another couple months. That would be fun. Yeah, it would be a real fun day for everyone. Margie loves watching us make a mess, as long as she's not in the middle of it. When are you going to make the bookcase for all these books? Margie, I have a little box that I think would be perfect for that. And that was really such a great idea. I am going to go ahead and put all these guys together. I might have to do that, Margie. I might have to do that. Oh, come on. Left the pin out too long. That would be so dadgum cute, right? I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. I do think I have the perfect size box. Build a couple shelves in it. Oh, that'd be really cute. That'd be fun too. Alrighty. And we have one more, so let's just make it a big, long one. Right here. You're falling down on Bin Patrol. Oh, that's funny. I like that Pin Patrol. That sounds much nicer than what it could be. Making sure I get my pin back in my glue bottle. All right, a pin going back in the glue bottle per pin patrol. Oh, on my own. Margie's the one that always keeps me in line with that one. Okay, so this needs to be up, down, up, down. This is going to be a bigger book. Okay, because I put 3 in here, 3 strips instead of 2, both ends already have an whoop-de going up. Don't have to tear one off, because when there's 2, they have to be opposite of each other. Cover. This will work for a cover. Okay. And let's just make sure that that is, yep, that works. All right, so this one's nice and thick. So we definitely want a spine. Now I'm thinking about making that little bookshelf, and I'm thinking, oh, this book is way too big for that. It needs to be thinner, smaller, teeny tiny little books. But you'd want books of all sizes, right? And then they need to have little labels on the spines. And yeah, I need actual squared spines where I can take gold pen and write in the title of the book and draw the little humps. I forget what they're called. It'd be cute. Actual book replicas. Cat with 9 lives. The 9 lives of Cuppy the cat. That'll be the first book title. Of course, there has to be an Alice in Wonderland. There we go. And there we go. Wide enough? That is wide enough. That is perfect. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to let that all loose. What I meant to do is just get to that one so I could fold this one over. I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space there because this one's thicker. And I'm going to cut it back just a bit. Alice meets Cuppy. There you go. That would be a great story. Yeah. The day Alice met Cuppy. The day Cuppy met Alice. A day in the life of. Okay. Slide that one in. Slide that one in. There we go. I love having a little actual spine on there to put the book title. It does need some kind of closure. Not sure what that'll be yet. But right now, it's a gigantic clip or whatever you call that. All right, so I used up all the ones that I had as little strips for the insides. I have 2 of these left that make covers, but they're also big enough scraps that they can be used for many other things. So I'm going to stop there. Got some thick ones, some thin ones, multi-signatures. See what we got. We got 3 with that cover, 3 with this cover, same paper, just stamped on it, and 2 with that one, and 1 with that mulberry paper. I thought there was 1 more. If it is, I probably pushed it off the desk with my arm. Cuppy's Funny Adventures, right? Oh, Cuppy Goes to Wonderland, and maybe the Dormouse. Oh, I love the little mice, teeny tiny mice. That would be cute. It'd be really cute to do a front cover too with the title of the books and have a tiny little stamp, or be able to draw a tiny little image. That sounds fun. Now you made me want to go work on that. Don't have time right now. Got other stuff to do. Got retreat to prepare for and a birthday party to plan. Happy Paper People birthday party. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging out. Glennis, hope you enjoyed your lunch. Sounded delicious. Julie, enjoy your dinner. That sounds absolutely delicious. Love Moroccan food. And Margie, I don't know what you're having for dinner because it's not Chili's, so enjoy it. And don't forget to post pictures of all the little books you made in the group so we can see everybody's take on them. And this was a lot of fun. I do like the idea of the after party. And as we can get more and more admin available, different days, people not feeling well or not available today, out of town or company coming in, different things. That's why they call it life. Takes us whichever direction. These are fun little books, and thanks, Margie, for the inspiration to do these. So next week is going to be using fabric and lace scraps. So gather up your fabric and lace scraps, and the following week we'll be using paper scraps, even small paper scraps, and neither of them. Let me say how do I say that? Both of them are variations or similar to things we've done in the past, but not the same as what we've done in the past. So a new take on it, maybe could say that. So lots of wonderful ideas from everybody. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Have the rest of a great day, and we'll see y'all next